Hey sports fans, my name is Ed, and for the last 20 years I've been traveling the world going to sporting events. And yes, that includes soccer in England. I've made multiple trips across the pond to see the beautiful game, and that means getting tickets to see some of the world's most popular teams in action. Even those clubs that aren't necessarily trophy contenders have wildly popular followings that go back decades and decades, so tickets for those teams can often be very hard to come by as well. If you're watching this, I imagine you're thinking about a similar trip, and I'm here to help. After planning out 3 separate trips to watch football in England, one of which was scheduled for March 2020, I've gotten a good grasp of what it takes to buy tickets for Premier League matches in England. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Buying tickets can be a time-consuming, frustrating, and very expensive exercise. But ultimately can be very rewarding, with a match at your favorite team's ground the highlight of a trip of a lifetime. So let's get into it. Here are some tips for scoring those tickets to those Premier League matches you've always wanted. If you're new to this channel, I chronicle all my sports travels on my website, Itinerant Fan. It has guides to all the stadiums in the major American sports leagues, plus some college stadiums and even some major venues around the world. Check it out sometime if you're into traveling for sports. So most people, myself included, choose when they travel based on when they have free time from all the obligations in their lives, such as work, family, school, and so on. Now, a very obvious first step in planning a trip like this is making sure that the dates you can travel fall in line with the Premier League season. Typically, the first match week of the Premier League season takes place around the second or third weekend of August, and then the season concludes in mid-May. During that time frame, you can also see if the club you're following is playing in the Champions League or the Europa League, and those matches usually take place in the middle of the week. And don't forget the domestic competitions like the FA Cup or the League Cup, which give you more opportunities to see a particular team in action. If your travels are taking you to the UK at the beginning of August, you also have opportunities to see preseason friendlies at grounds that you're looking to visit. When the Premier League releases a schedule, usually in late June, you'll find that the slate is divided into 38 match weeks, and nearly every match is initially scheduled for 3 p.m. British time on the Saturday of that week. But only some matches will wind up being played at that time. A lot of marquee matchups, most of the games that you would want to see on TV, are often moved to a different time and day to accommodate prime TV windows. For us American fans, it's not unlike the NFL flexing a game into the coveted Sunday night slot. Matches are also sometimes moved to accommodate teams being able to participate in other competitions. So for the traveling fan who's hoping to plan out a trip months in advance, the scheduling scheme makes things very tricky. The Premier League will set its kickoff times and stages, and for a couple months at a time. So for example, the schedule for the just released 2025-26 season only has match times set for the first week. We'll have to wait until late July or early August probably to find out what kickoff times are beyond that. Now say I'm planning to travel to see matches in March. This means I have to wait until after the new year to find out exactly when my preferred matches will take place. Most likely late January is around the time the Premier League has set matches for March in the past. You'll have to keep close tabs on when the Premier League plans on releasing kickoff times, which they usually reveal on social media. But most likely you'll have to wait to make other plans regarding your trip until after those kickoff times are set. Okay, let's get into the biggest difference between ticket buying in the Premier League versus ticket buying in the major American sports: the membership. So what do I mean by membership? Well, nearly every major English club offers one to its fans, and it comes with perks like free or discounted merchandise and access to exclusive content. But it's also usually required if you want to buy tickets to any match. Unlike in the US, it's not often that you find the supply of tickets controlled by Ticketmaster or some other third party. Each Premier League club controls its supply of match tickets for its home games, whether it's for a league match or another competition. Oh, and say that there are 4 adults in your party and you all want to get tickets, that means you need 4 memberships. So that's right, everybody in your party needs one in most cases. That makes perfect sense if, say, I'm a Liverpool fan who lives in the city and wants to see multiple matches per season. But if I'm a diehard supporter who doesn't live in England and is going to travel from abroad just to see one match, The idea of buying a membership just for the chance to buy tickets to one match might not seem very appealing. But the membership is good in one key way, and I'll get into that next. Okay, you have your membership purchased and you're ready to buy match tickets. If you live in the US though, be ready for an early wake-up call. I live in the Pacific time zone, so yes, on a couple occasions that meant being up at 2 a.m. my time to secure seats when tickets went on sale at 10 a.m. British time. By the way, single game tickets for most matches don't take place until the kickoff times are finalized. So using the mid-March example from earlier, you won't have an opportunity to buy tickets for those matches until late January or early February. Now, if you've ever tried to buy tickets to a high-demand event anywhere, you know how quickly you can sell out, usually within minutes. And if you strike out during this initial sale, the membership can actually come in handy. Each club has a ticket resale scheme, so members who can't go to matches will give them back to the club, and they'll be put up for sale to other members. The good news about this is that the clubs usually don't allow tickets to be sold at a markup. So if you're able to buy tickets this way, you should be able to get them at face value. The bad news is these tickets are subject to the same high demand as the previous sales. So if you're in the resale portal and you see a set of tickets that you want to buy, then you really need to act fast. I remember being on the resale portal for Spurs in 2002, refreshing over and over and watching pairs of tickets come and go. It was like playing whack-a-mole, honestly, because hundreds of people were lurking like me, hoping to score tickets. It took 3 days of visiting the portal over and over and refreshing the browser and waiting before finally getting the tickets I wanted. And by the way, to gain entry to a lot of Premier League matches now, you use your phone like you do everywhere else, but instead of presenting a mobile ticket, you're presenting a mobile pass that denotes that you're a paid member for the club, and that pass contains the ticket info for that particular match. So see what I mean about the membership being so important? But what if you don't want to go through all that? Well, you do have a couple alternatives. So if you want to avoid all the hassle I've been describing and you've got money to burn, then consider what's called a hospitality package. Every club offers hospitality packages in some fashion, and you don't have to be a club member in order to buy one. They come with prime tickets, often in the suite level or some other prime area, and they include added perks like catered meals, stadium tours, meet and greets with former players, and merchandise discounts. The only thing is they're not cheap. Think somewhere around 300 to 400 pounds per ticket to start, and that number can go way up if it's a marquee matchup. But if you can't seem to buy tickets in any other way, this at least guarantees that you'll get in, and you'll be treated pretty nicely in the process. If you don't have the budget to buy hospitality tickets and you can't seem to buy tickets through the club portals, well then you have the alternative of buying tickets through the secondary market. But this is a little different in the US, where you have all sorts of portals like StubHub, SeatGeek, Vivid Seat, Ticket Network, the list goes on and on. Premier Leagues tend to offer some very strict warnings about buying tickets this way, and they go so far as to say that sites like StubHub are blacklisted. However, it's still fairly common for tickets to be bought secondhand, even for matches for the biggest clubs. I do have experience with this. I use the popular site called livefootballtickets.com to buy tickets for an Arsenal match at the Emirates Stadium. I purchased the tickets at a significant markup from face value, and doing so put me in direct contact with the seller, who had to send me over his mobile membership badge for entry to the stadium. So in essence, I pretended I was this other person who was a paid Arsenal member for the day. Everything went smoothly that day, so I would definitely consider doing it again. And since that match, I've heard from a lot of other folks who say Live Football Tickets is a service that they use frequently and they haven't ever encountered issues. If you're interested in it, you can find the link for livefootballtickets.com in the description below. Full disclosure, it is an affiliate link, so if you make any purchase on it through the link, it results in a commission for me at no extra cost to you. However, I'll add the disclaimer that using livefootballtickets.com or any other site comes with risk that's outlined by the Premier League clubs. And if you're traveling from abroad and spending a lot of money to do so, the prospect of getting to the gate of your favorite ground and being denied entry is a pretty strong deterrent. My stance is I'll only use it as a last resort after trying to get tickets through any of the other channels mentioned earlier. So I hope this helps you plan out that Premier League trip you've always dreamed about. Now I'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below if you're thinking of traveling to the UK, or if you'd like to add to the information I've presented here, or if you'd just like to share your experience of traveling to see Premier League football live. And if you like this video, hit that thumbs up button, and please consider subscribing to our channel because we'll be making a lot more stadium and travel videos. Thanks for watching, and happy travels!